So, go on then.
I can't really see it, to be fair.
Snowing on your head, John.
Oh no, it's been
10,
snowing on my head for years.
9, 8,
Ooh.
7,
Ooh.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And there's
Who's
Con,
working?
and there's me. And how is everybody?
Hello.
Oh, terrific. And
Lovely to see you
welcome. And say welcome, Con, yes?
Oh, yeah, welcome. Lovely to see you all. You're all looking very well.
Good.
It's trying to snow here in Yorkshire, where I am, near
Oh.
Huddersfield. I am.
In Eastbourne, we actually don't allow the snow in. We tell it,
Camelot.
no, go away. Well, we don't put it that politely, but it's lovely to see you all, and let's get started, shall we, Con? Tell everybody that we're ready to go. And
Right, we're
here-
ready to go now. Okay, Deck, press the button.
A long time ago, when the earth was green, there was more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen. They'd run around free while the earth was being born, but the loveliest of them all was the unicorn. There was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but choose your bone.
Lovely. So there we are, Con, and look at everybody looking so well. This is terrific. Claire, would you like to tell us what we're going to get up to today, Con?
Well, what's on the show this week? And again, Deck and I will be telling you what we've been up to this week. Not a lot, really, but how was your week? And then we got some old video diaries. I love watching these because it brings back memories of what we did years ago, or even months ago. And then we'll be asking a question, and we'll pick out one or two people and get their opinions on various things. And then we have a sat nav. We're going to sing sat nav, and we've got a lovely video which we did some time ago, and looking forward to seeing that. And then any birthdays? Do we have any birthdays today? We'll get on to Lynn and see if there's any birthdays today.
No, no birthdays at all, unless any new guests have got a birthday this week. But no one from our group.
No? Oh,
No.
okay. Oh, so it's no cake for Deck this week. I'm sure he loves those cakes. They look very appetizing. And then we're going to sing Maggie. I wandered today to the fields, Maggie. And looking forward to that. We did a nice video of that, and Deck did a great job again, looking after that. And then we have our most requested song, which a lot of people asked us to do, and it's Try a Little Kindness. And I'm looking forward to that. And we'll be interpreting some of the words in that song. It's very, 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 very poignant song. And although it can escape you, if you don't listen to the words properly. When I'm recording a song or trying to record a song, I try and bring out the meaning of the lyrics. And in that way, I think it helps people to understand what the song is all about. So I should be explaining what Try a Little Kindness is all about later on. So how was your week, Deck?
Con, you're supposed to be given the agenda, not telling everybody about Try a Little Kindness. You're a terrible man. Terrible man. My brother is a terrible man.
I know.
He talks for Ireland. You set him going and away he goes, except when I'm trying to get things ready in the background. I say, talk away, Con, and then he has nothing to say. Isn't that terrible? But my week was very exciting, actually, because Victoria's got a new project. My son's, as you know, runs major music festivals, and he runs an organization called Picnic and Pop. If you ever see a Picnic and Pop festival, that's Oliver, my son. Go along. It's going to be sensational. but it's been going so well. So the 2-day event in Aldershot is now going to be 3 days, which is fantastic. And also
Wow.
they're allowing it to go on until 10 o'clock at night, which is unheard of. Normally it has to finish at 9 o'clock for the neighbors and the residents and all that. But
Yeah,
that's
'cause there's a noise
fantastic.
clause, isn't it?
So yeah, noise. So Victoria obviously has to do it, and this year is going to be a big year for Victoria. I've got some stuff which I'm not allowed to tell you at all. I've been sworn to secrecy, and she's been sworn to secrecy. But you're going to see a lot of Victoria this year.
Very good.
The opening for the show that she's doing a picnic and pop is a whole tribute to Kylie Minogue. So guess who's been roped in to do all the music? So I've been, apart from all the Bachelors stuff, which we all know about, I've been killing myself with all this Kylie Minogue disco stuff. I've loved it. I love it. Absolutely adore it. Great challenge. Great challenge.
Yeah.
But Con, you had a lovely week because you told me that you unearthed some lovely pictures of you. And I do remember very well you dragging me around as a kid, dragging me around by the scruff of the neck to see you cycle speedwaying.
Oh, yeah.
So
was my
shall we
passion.
show some pictures and then you can tell us what they're all about?
Well, I used to love cycle speed. Well, ordinary speedway. I used to go to Shelbourne Park every Sunday. And when I heard there was a cycle speedway, I actually built myself a bicycle. I got all the bits and pieces and I bent the handlebars out. So, big, long handlebars. So I had my own bicycle and I joined a group of lads down in Ringsend in Dublin. We called ourselves the Penrose Flyers. And that's a picture of our team. That's myself at the back on the left. And beside me is another pal of mine, Joe O'Brien. And then Paddy Hunt is just in front of us there. And beside Paddy is Jack Parker. And the front row on the right-hand side is a chap called Collie Dowdall. And Collie was a lovely, lovely guy. And unfortunately, he got MS. And he came to visit us when we were working in Blackpool on the Central Pier. And he came along with his new wife. And he was in a wheelchair, unfortunately. And unfortunately, he passed away. And a lovely, lovely, lovely guy. But that was the team anyway. And we used to go down there every Sunday and practice and have races and do all sorts of things. And I think, have you got a next picture, Dick?
Yeah, I've got my hand up. My arm is aching from holding my hand up to try and get a word in edgeways. When you start talking, Con, you really start talking. Now, what I want to know, what everybody, all the boys and girls want to know, and all the fellas, and all the men and women, and all the ladies and gentlemen want to know, who's that little fella at the back looking over?
Oh,
there's always a little fella looking over at the back, isn't there? I said to Con yesterday, it's never a big fella. It's always a little fella sneaking over the top. Who is he, Con?
God knows. He was probably passing by and he said, "Oh, there's a camera there.
I'll get in the photograph."
And he's up on his tippy toes there.
There we go. Look at you in action, Con. Yeah. Look at you in action. That's you third, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Third from the left. Yeah, you were always the biggest.
Yeah,
you're always a big lanky, Mickey Melogian legs, isn't that what they call it? Yeah, that's lovely.
That's Joe O'Brien on the left-hand side, far left, and that's Collie with the star on. Actually, he must have joined another team.
Oh, he left. He's a renegade. And look at, ladies and gentlemen, look at that aggressive guy on the inside.
Yeah.
You're a killer, Con, killer. And you had very unusual sort of handlebars, didn't you?
I know, I made them myself. Well, I got a pair. I heated them up on the gas stove and bent them out to that shape. And it was a great bike that, you know, I built it myself from bits and pieces I found around
I can't
about.
get a word in, Edge. Con,
Oh,
the
sorry.
etiquette is when I put my hand up, let
Yeah.
me speak.
I
And
can't
when
see.
you put your hand up,
Go on.
let me speak. But yeah, tell him about my father. My father was wonderful for having us at his knee, as we've often heard said, having us at his knee, and he showed us everything, how to solder, how to bend metal, how to do everything. So it probably would have been a Bunsen burner you used, Con, was it?
Possibly. I, to be honest with you, I can't remember, but I remember bending them out and making them into that shape. And I tell you why they were that shape, because one of the favorite guys, one of his favorite speedway guys was a chap called Ronnie Moore.
That's right, Ronnie Moore.
And they were the shape of his handlebars. So I copied them, you know. And this picture is of Clodagh Rogers. You remember anybody remember Clodagh? Clodagh Rogers. She used to babysit for us, because when we lived in Willesden in London, and she and her family lived just across the road from us, and she lovely girl.
Louis Rogers was her father, and
Yeah.
Frank Rogers was her brother, who was the head of publicity at Decca Records. John Leyland. There's a bit of information. Clodagh Rogers' brother was Frank. And I went into Frank's office, Albert Embankment, the big Decca offices were. Went in there one day and say hello to Frank. And Frank looked at me and he said, and it was a big high table where they put all the photographs in. And then he threw some photographs on the table. And he said, Dec, will you look at what they've asked me to work with? I mean, what can I possibly do with these? And the photograph was the famous first photograph of the Rolling Stones coming out of the sea, if you remember that photograph. And he said, it's impossible to do anything with these fellas. And I said, Frank, just you wait and see. Who was right?
Oh, there you go. You know,
Louis Rogers actually, Frank,
the father.
His father used to drive all the acts around, Jim Reeves and people, Hank Lachlan and people, all the people Philip used to bring over from the States, mainly country stars, and used to drive us around. He used to drive everybody around. But then eventually he became quite a big entrepreneur himself, a big promoter.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, stick around, Con. You learn an awful lot from me.
Oh, yeah. So, and I think there's another picture of...
there is, yeah, just coming up now.
Yeah.
Give it its time. There we are.
Ah, there we are. There's Clodagh. We all have microphones on. So obviously we're doing a film shoot. I think it was in Northern Ireland.
Listen, Con, whenever you see a photograph and you see John Stokes looking smart and you looking smart, I was always smart. Carnaby Street, everything was Carnaby Street with me and all that. But whenever you see a photograph with Con looking smart and John particularly looking smart, you know it's a proper photo shoot. That would have been BBC probably. So all those clothes would be BBC. Not mine, because I recognize that jacket. That was lovely. It was a yellowy cream jacket. It was fantastic, very tight. Everything was tight in those days, wasn't it, Con?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, we all look very, very smart in that.
Yeah.
Mind you do when you're dressed up for television.
As I say, it's the only time. No, I won't say it. But yeah, that was terrific. And Con, then we got on to keep talking for a second there, Con, until I just get this next bit up.
Well, next we're going to. Well, I was just talking about what we got up to last week. In the last week, I've only been out of the house once, and that was just to go down to the local shop, which is run by a chap called Shandy's shop. And he actually owns the farm that I live on.
Oh.
And they're lovely family. Yeah, go on, Dak. I see your hand up.
Yeah, you're supposed to stop immediately, Con. That's the way it works. But
I can't see you. I'm
oh,
looking
can you?
to
Well, organize yourself so you can see me. Yeah, I was going to sort of say the only time you got out of the work was it's mandatory, really, when you're on parole. You've got to report to the police station, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dear, oh, dear.
So
next on the agenda, we got some of our old videos from November 2015. And I think a lot of us is you, Dak, on this.
No, you're in there as well. You're in there as well. But I love Spain, as you know, and this is mostly to do with me in Spain. Now, here we are going on our holidays. What do you think of the holidays so far? South Terminal, car picked up. It's lovely. I'm having a lovely time so far. Sandy hasn't shouted at me once. But just give it a few minutes. This is my favourite place in the world, Puerto Banús. Absolutely stunning. Huh. I've been coming here for, must be 30, 40 years. All my life, really, all my career. Had houses down here, done everything. But it's absolutely stunning. Lovely. And there's the lucky men, we call them. And all the bags and everything to buy. And there's Sandy.
Hello.
Are you enjoying yourself at Puerto Banús?
I'm having a lovely time since somebody is pushing my chair.
Well, this is.
No, isn't this unbelievable? November.
Yeah.
See, they have got fish. You lied to me.
No,
in the local village.
Menu,
in
on this is.
Well, I'll
Monda.
have to have it on that one.
Ochen. And that's Derek.
I want a drink.
And there's Eileen. And wait till you see the food that I'm going to have. This is going to be absolutely something else.
Where do you go? Do they come out?
Look at this. Calamares. No, that's pepperonis. Pil.
Calamares and
Pil. Crab. And
Calamares.
Don't know what that is. Looks very English. No, it's not. Pork. Isn't that beautiful?
Turdo.
And that €6, which is about £4. Crazy stuff. Crazy.
About £3, actually.
So we're going to eat very well this week.
About £3.50.
£3.50.
This is absolutely delicious, isn't it?
Oh, I can imagine. They look lovely. What a beautiful home Derek has got here in Spain. Absolutely delightful. Beautiful sweeping staircase. Lovely. Into the kitchen. This is it. And that's all for me. Can you believe it? Isn't that gorgeous? And this is absolutely the way I love to spend my holidays in Europe. Gorgeous restaurant. Not restaurant, little bar with the telly on. They always have the telly on. And it's all tapas. Look at that beautiful tapas. To die for. May not be your cup of tea, but certainly
That's what I want.
This is my favourite restaurant in the world. This is the Crepes restaurant of Puerto Banús.
Hold on.
Pancakes. But look at these pancakes. Unbelievable.
Hold on.
I have never, ever
The pancakes.
I'm just taking a picture of the pancakes. But this is
Okay, folks.
I get so excited
Jack,
being
get your
here.
head into your
And I've been here since 1977. Yes, heads in the picture. Having a photograph taken now. Okay, head into the pancake.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
everybody.
Go on.
It's lovely, isn't it? No.
This is wonderful.
Quite nice.
I've been coming here since
Oh, is it
1977.
not that nice?
Lovely, nice.
Can't tell you how many times I've been here, but it's lovely.
Lovely thing.
And here we are. Happy Sandy. Sinatra's bar.
Yeah.
There's Eileen. There's Derek.
Why don't you try and have a flash?
Isn't that amazing?
He's filmed
Know
your
what?
son that time, Ollie.
that you were not supposed to do that.
Look at
Mummy,
that.
smile.
Isn't that lovely?
It's not funny.
Is that me? Yeah.
Play them out.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, blow!
103 years of age. Is that wonderful?
No, I was told today, happy birthday, 40-year-old.
40. Oh, that's nice. That'll do. That'll do. And after all the joy, the sadness, Sandy unfortunately lost her brother. We had him cremated. And then we had the ashes interred into the ground beside his wife. Lovely. And then the gig of the month. Whoa, what a venue. The Apex in Bury St Edmunds. Absolutely sensational. Here we are on stage chatting to the support act. Very funny. It's hilarious.
Yeah, hello. Yes.
So there we are. Lovely theatre.
Yes.
Lovely theatre.
It's a lovely theatre. It is gorgeous, isn't it?
Pretty about the sound system. Lovely theatre.
Yeah, lovely. It is a lovely theatre.
Yeah.
Have you been
It's a
here
lovely,
before?
and this is our nice.
No, for
And who are you, madam?
Susan Stark.
Yes, and you're in charge.
nightmare.
You're in charge of the show today.
Absolutely.
Exactly. I'm not in charge at all.
Whatever it was. Where I went in and the guy was mixing up all this stuff and I said, I was 21. What's all this about? And he said, well, sir needs a little attention.
Come on, 21.
Take one on the phone.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, this is me. This is Gary.
This is Gary.
With the fabulous pleasure of working with Con and Deck.
Absolutely. Pleasure, love. Pleasure is
Now
not
all
a
together.
word.
2,
It's
3,
absolutely-
4.
Oh no, it's true.
Are you, we're all working together here in Bury St.
Working?
We are.
Well,
We're performing.
Performing.
He always says working.
Working is driving home.
I'd say.
No,
Yeah.
working is digging a hole outside.
Yes,
Working
that's
is.
working. We're performing.
We're performing.
We're all
We're
here
looking
in.
forward to
We're
it.
performing with an excellent drummer.
We are. He's
I don't know what his name is. Curtis.
Spotlight.
Curtis Mayfield, by the way. In a reincarnation. Just finished.
Yeah. I'm just about to tuck into a mince pie.
Look at that, mince pies for the way home. Isn't that lovely?
Would
And
you like
what a
one?
concert today, wasn't it?
Absolutely fantastic. Packed house.
It was absolutely rammed at the Apex in Bury St Edmunds.
Bury St. Edmunds.
Beautiful theatre, absolutely gorgeous theatre. Stunning sound system, everything was brilliant. Of course, Colin and I were sensational.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And we had a new drummer today.
Oh, new drummer, yeah, he was a bit
Curtis.
tasty, wasn't he? Curtis.
He's excellent. Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. So the other drummers that we use better watch their laurels. But it was really good. And thank you for coming to see us last month.
Yes, thank you.
We look forward to seeing you sometime next month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
next
mince
month.
pies. Yeah,
Yeah.
with mince pies.
How about that, Con?
Yeah, very good.
I'll tell you what, a few things came out of that actually. The November in Spain. Did you see the weather in Spain in November? I mean, that's the place to live, isn't it? I actually wanted to live there for 6 months at a time and then come back for 6 months because you can commute so easy. Well, you can't commute nowadays. There's somebody knocking at the door, let them in, admit it's Graham Bauer. There we are. Yeah, it's the place. It's really doable. But when I tried to do it, the internet wasn't as good as it should be, and I had lots of trouble trying to. I used to have a 4 minutes with deck on the net, and it was really troublesome trying to do that every week. That wasn't too good. But what are we? Tell them what we're getting up to now, Con, please.
Well, I tell you what, look, looking at all your videos, your whole life seems to revolve around food.
I'll tell you the other thing I wanted to say as well. I got my notes. Did you notice, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on that theatre, they had the notice up saying who was going to be on the show. But the dreaded thing they do, and they do this so much now in theatres, the interval at 3:20. I mean, telling you what time the interval is, it's dreadful for an artist because you can't allow for encores or can't allow for just being a little bit easy with the audience. They want you to have the intervals precisely at this time. And also then they want you to finish. This is the worst one. Finish precisely. And what happens is people go into our show with the idea that we're going to finish at, say, 5:20. Guaranteed at 5:10, half the audience is doing that thing of putting their coats on because they all want to get out early to get the taxis. They reckon nowadays at the O2, well, when the O2 is open, the O2 is a nightmare because when the artist does their last song, then they come back on to do an encore, half the O2 is gone because they all want to get out early to avoid the rush. But go on, Con, what's next?
Well, there you go. You show them all your bits in Spain. That Port Banús, I've been there quite a few times myself, and it is a lovely spot. I love anything to do with the water. Because when I was at college, I joined the rowing club, and on the water. And then when Dick and I were together in Scarborough and places like that, we always had a boat. We used to be out on the water skiing. And then when we were down in Bournemouth, I bought my own boat, and we used to go out every day on the boat.
And Nicholas Parsons was with us an awful lot. He loved water skiing with us, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
And Freddie Starr, there's another one. He was a nuisance though, but a nuisance.
Yeah, I actually bought my boat off from Freddie Starr. Because we were down in Bournemouth. We had our boat down in the harbour in Bournemouth, and a chap came out from the shop and he said, well, would you like to buy a boat? I said, what is it? What is it? He said, oh, it's a day boat. It's quite big, you know. And I said, who's selling it? Said, oh, Freddie Starr, he's selling it. It's not big enough for him, apparently. Because he bought it so as he could bring girls out on the water, you know, they couldn't escape. But
don't say that. Don't say that.
No.
Get him into trouble.
Rub that in.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone now, Freddie, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
He's gone. Yeah. Everybody's gone, ladies and gentlemen, except Con and I. Yeah. We're the last band standing.
Yeah, I tell you who got in touch with me last night was Red Hurley. Remember Red Hurley?
Oh, good Lord, yes, in Ireland.
Yeah.
Steve would know him.
Yeah.
You'd know him, Steve, wouldn't you?
Yeah. And I sent him a message to say we were on today at 2:30.
Yeah.
But I can't see him today.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we made a promise last week that we would have, for the first Sunday of the month, we always have one of our past hits, and they're all in line. And the one this week was supposed to be Sound of Silence. Now, I was convinced in my mind, and I said to Con, we've already recorded this, and we've got a video of this, so it would be nice to show that. I've gone through my library of stuff. Can I find it? I can't even find the finished record of it. The last version of it we did. We were doing it on stage, I know, before the lockdown, but I couldn't. So apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But we had so many requests for this next item that we just had to play it. So next week, we're going to spend all of this week doing a video. And I got this great idea for singing it in a cavern, in a cave, with all the water and the dripping and all that. That should be great, Con. Are you up for that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that should be
I'll
great.
have a look around, see if there's any caves around. Actually, there's a mine on the farm, so an old mine. So we could maybe do.
Can you get down in that?
I don't know. My kids used to go and play in it. You know, when they were. I was horrified when I found out they did that.
Yeah.
But there you go. Anyway.
But listen, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is fantastic. We've played it before, an awful long time ago, probably nearly a year ago now, on one of our Corona diaries. But this is quite something. Con came to me with an idea for a song, and you actually called it. What did you call it? It wasn't Sat Nav. It was something. Tom Tom, you wanted to call it. And I said, oh, no, it doesn't rhyme too good. So we changed it to Sat Nav. He came to me with one line. That's what my brother always does. He comes to me with one line. It's called
all he needs an idea.
It's a start point. And that's the greatest thing for music. If you're into writing music, writing songs, what you need is a start point. Once you have a start point, then you're away. Like Paul McCartney with Yesterday, or the taxi driver that said to him, I'm working so hard, it's like 8 days a week. Just that little start point. So if you ever have a start point, send it to me. Deck@makeits.com.
The other taxi driver said to him, as he was getting out the taxi, he said, have you had a hard day? He said, oh, I've had a hard day's night.
Yeah, it's just those little ideas. But listen, here is Sat Nav.
Daddy. Are we there yet, Daddy? Daddy, are we there yet?
Me and my sat-nav, we're heading down the road. Me and my sat-nav, we're such a heavily load. Got Susie and the kids and the bags in the back. The dog came too, and that's a fact. My sat-nav. Sometime long ago, one time we could go to find just the place to be. Then I turned it on. One touch didn't take long. But then what did I hear it say?
Turn around when possible.
Me and my sat-nav, we're heading down the road. Me and my sat-nav, we're such a heavily load. Got Susie and the kids and the bags in the back. The dog came too, and that's a fact. I said, some kids like to say, my dad knows the way, but then they can be so wrong.
There yet, Daddy?
Sat-navs, they're the best. Just give your mind a rest until you just hear it say,
turn around when possible.
Me and my sat-nav, we're heading down the road. Me and my sat-nav, we're such a heavily load. Got Susie and the kids and the bags in the back. The dog came too, and that's a fact. My sat-nav.
Turn around when possible.
Did I switch off the lights? Did I lock the front door?
After 300 meters, you have reached your destination.
Did I turn off the gas?
At the end of the road, take the ferry. Turn around when possible.
Me and my sat-nav, we're heading down the road. Me and my sat-nav, we're such a heavily load. Got Susie and the kids and the bags in the back. The dog came too, and that's a fact. My sat-nav. Me and my sat-nav, we're heading down the road. Me and my sat-nav,
Daddy, are we there yet?
we're such a heavily load. Got Susie and the kids and the bags in the back.
I enjoy doing that. That
And
was,
I would say to ladies and gentlemen, oh, wait till we see the applause. Con,
wow.
wait till we see the applause. Are they on their feet? They're on their feet. They're on their feet. Look at that. They're going berserk. Oh, even I'm clapping. Even I'm clapping. I'm clapping.
Now, did anybody notice anything unusual there in that video?
No.
The phone box.
Oh, the phone box. Yeah,
The phone box, yeah. Because nearly every phone box in Britain is red.
That's right.
And the only time you see a green one is in Ireland.
That's correct.
So, but that telephone box was actually green. Now, whereabouts is that?
That's at that starts with the F, and it's just down the road from me. And when you come to Eastbourne, you've got to go. It's on the road from where I live, which is in Meads, on the way to Seaford on the Coast Road, and that's lovely. That's but when you come down, make sure you go to those places. Burling Gap is gorgeous, as you saw on the signpost. There's always people with those hang gliders and all that. And then, of course, you got Beachy Head, which is sensational. That is something to see. But anywhere around Eastbourne, I'll tell you where to go, and just come down and have a lovely time. Eastbourne is a beautiful place. But, Con, we like to ask questions now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll put it onto gallery view here. And the question I've got for people this week is this. And when I ask you, if you don't want to talk, just say pass. Okay, very easy, just say pass. Or if you want to talk, just put your hand up. That's Con doesn't understand that notion, but that is internet etiquette. That is Zoom etiquette. If you want to speak, just put your hand up, and the chairman, whoever it is, it's me in this instance for this little short section, will say to you what you call recognize you immediately. Yeah, immediately. So immediately I see a hand up, I'm going to recognize you. So the question is, and it's very interesting, I have another computer here. The question is, will we ever get back to normal? What do you think? Will we ever get back to normal? John, I'm looking at you, John Hutchinson. Unmute yourself there for a second, and I'll ask you that question again. John, do you think, and listen, John, I have to say to you, because you've got a reputation for talking forever. You breathe through your ears, as I said last week. But in about 30 seconds to a minute, do you think, honestly, we will ever, unmute yourself, John, please. Unmute yourself. There we are, you're unmuted now. Just, honestly, in your opinion, do you think we'll ever get back to what we used to know normal?
I don't think it will be quite the same. I think we will get the viruses. I hope we will, the vaccines, obviously. I think we will bring the thing under control. And I think theatres will reopen. I hope to God they do. And restaurants and the hospitality industry will reopen as well. But it'll be, there'll still be rules and regulations that we have to observe. And that's what I think it'll be, a different kind of normal.
Well, that's lovely, John. And anybody else want to come in on that? Kathy, I'm looking at you. Do you think we'll ever get to a situation where we'll actually be able to walk into a theatre and it's exactly the way it was 2 years ago?
Maybe not exactly the same way, but I would think that by next year, we'll be somewhere back to normal. Not this year, definitely not. The theatres might open later in the year, but I think it'll be very scarce.
Yes. What do you think the normal will be?
Next year?
Yeah.
Hopefully back to what we were and getting yearly vaccines against the virus.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Today, they were saying it'd probably be like a flu jab.
Yes.
Because there'll be variations all the time. The flu keeps varying from year to year, so you have to have a new flu jab every year. I think it'll be the same with
The
the virus.
vaccine, yeah, virus, definitely.
Linda, Lynda, Linda, do you talk us through what you think will be the normal in, say, 2 years' time, 3 years' time, as regards going into a restaurant?
Restaurant. Well, I think I tend to agree with what John Hutchinson was saying, that I'm not sure that it will ever get totally back to normal. I think a lot of people will still be very wary about going into restaurants, especially the older generation, even though they've been vaccinated. I think things will remain very socially distanced, even going into a couple of years hence. I think mask wearing will go on for a long time yet. I don't think that will end pretty soon. And as Con said, I think we'll be getting vaccines on an annual basis, just like the flu vaccine, probably alongside it. And as Con rightly said, it will vary from year to year as the flu vaccine does.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just mute yourself there. That's lovely. And just one final question. An interesting situation. Graham, we haven't heard from you. Graham Bohr, would you like to unmute yourself? And don't forget, if you don't want to talk, just say pass. Graham, do you think, here's an interesting thought, as in places like China and places like UAE, United Arab Emirates, where things are compulsory, do you think it's probably logical to have yearly vaccinations for the foreseeable future? Graham?
I think it's probably going to be inevitable. We had something that was knocking around in about 1918, and we beat this virus somehow, I don't know how, without inoculations, but I think it's going to have to be inoculations. It's just going to be there. It's always going to be there.
Yeah. And Philip, finally, you're the last voice today. Graham, you can mute yourself now, please. There we are, you're muted. Philip, unmute yourself. Talk me through what you think is going to be the theatre of the future. I mean, as regards masks, as regards social distancing. What do you think? Say the O2. What is your picture of how the theatre of the future is going to look like?
Well, things carry on the way they are. It'll just be more spacing out. That's it. Just keep spaced out, I guess, until the quote unquote threat starts to disappear, and then people can start to congregate again.
So does that mean that we're never, ever again going to see the mass audiences of 100,000?
Who can say? You know, like people are saying, once the inoculations are there and everything goes back to quote unquote normal, then distances can go away again, I guess.
Interesting thought. And you know something? I'm getting to, actually, you can mute yourself now. I'm getting to really like these little discourses we're having. But Con, what's next?
Well, I asked, well, any birthdays at all? Has anybody any birthdays? Anybody at all? Anybody know? Anybody?
No birthdays at all.
Oh my!
And
there's no cake for you this week.
No, I'm actually Con. I'm actually looking at it over the other side of the room. Oh wait, now Roger and Denise. But my cake doer is gone. I have no cake doer now. But Roger and Denise, unmute yourself, please. Is it your birthday?
It's my birthday on Thursday.
Ah, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
But just for you, happy birthday to you, Roger. Happy birthday to you, Roger. Happy birthday, dear
Roger.
Roger.
Happy birthday to you.
And many more. Now, Roger, you've had to say happy birthday. That's lovely. And now, Con, we had a very special surprise for Stephanie today, Steve. And unfortunately, Stephanie is Steve's daughter. I love her to bits. And we go and see her, don't we, Steve? And we have a lovely time. Stephanie is Steve's lovely daughter, and we spend a lot of time with her. And Steve has been devoted to his daughter all her life. And then she lives in a lovely, lovely special house now, which is gorgeous, well fitted. But her big song, the big thing in her life, is this next song. And every time she sees me, she says, "Dick, sing Maggie, sing Maggie, sing Maggie." Doesn't she, Steve? I can see Steve laughing now. But everything is sing Maggie, sing Maggie, sing Maggie. And I thought, just for a treat, and you wouldn't believe it, but in the place she is at the moment, the internet has gone down today. So she can't be with us, but she will be with us next week. So, Con, would you like to get this ready?
Well, it's one of my favorite Irish songs. I suppose it's an Irish song. It's on our Irish album anyway. And a lovely song called Maggie. And it's about like a chap talking to his girlfriend or his wife or whatever. And many years down the road after they've been together for a while. And I wandered today to the hill, Maggie, where once the daisy sprang.
Now you shut up now, Con, and let yourself sing.
Okay. Here we go.
Here it is.
Lovely song. A romantic song.
I wandered today to the hills, Maggie, to watch the scene below. The creek and the lovely old mill, Maggie, as we used to long ago. The green grove is gone from the hills, Maggie, where first the daisy sprung. The lovely old mill, it's still, Maggie, since you and I were young. Oh, they say that I'm feeble with age, Maggie, my step is slower than then, and my face is a well-written page, Maggie. Sure, time alone was the pen. They say we have outlived our time, Maggie, and our time is just about run. But to me, you're as fair as you were, Maggie, when you and I were young. When you and I were young.
And I'm sure you're going to say that's the best song you ever sang. And let's see what the applause is like. Let's see what the applause is like. Oh, look at that. Con, they're throwing money again. They're throwing money again. Look at that. I'm covered in £50 notes. This is amazing. This is fantastic. Thank you very much, everybody. Graham, why are you not applauding? Graham, I'm looking at you, Graham Barr. Oh, he's gone now. He's gone altogether. That's lovely. And Carol George. That's lovely. So here we are.
You can just imagine the old couple sat on the park bench.
Yeah.
And talking to each other. a
A lot of
wonderful
people
time.
can't ask how do we do those videos and that with Zoom, because it's so difficult to sing and play on Zoom. Wonderful for talking. Absolutely the best. All the TV stations all over the world use Zoom for talking, as you see on the news every night. But for music, it's desperately hard to get, as Con and I know, because we generally record those Zoom things live during the week. That one was done live this week, and we had it was very difficult. Let's put it that way. But you know, with the technology that we've got, we can do it. But I love doing it, and this week we're going to do "I'll Take You Home Again," Kathleen, Con, aren't we?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Another lovely song. My wife hated it, by the way.
Because her name was Kathleen.
Well, her name was Catherine, actually, but her father always called her Kathleen. Kathleen, come here.
Come here to me, Kathleen. I remember your father, our father well.
Yeah.
He used to walk down, a good lesson to everybody. He used to walk down every night, and he'd have, was it 1 pint of Guinness?
1 pint of Guinness and 1 whiskey.
A chaser, yeah.
And that was all you'd say. Will you have another one? No, I've had enough.
Tell the ladies and gentlemen about Stephanie's love for Maggie, the song.
Yeah, she's always like this when she first have it, when you used to come down to the
just putting in, there's a photograph actually of Stephanie up behind you, I can see. Just talk to me.
Yeah, there's one on the wall there. Look, you can just see it.
Definitely, yeah.
No, she's always like that song ever since she heard it. And of course, every time she sees you, she wants you to sing it. But no, that was brilliant. I'll do, I'll show her this in a couple of days' time, and she'll love that. But hopefully, she'll be on next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you very much, Steve. But if you would, and the replay is tomorrow, it should be ready for tomorrow. And you're having a San Miguel. Oh, Steve, you're making me so jealous. That's my favorite beer in life. I love, adore, and lust and crave for San Miguel. I don't have San Miguel now, but I haven't got any. It's a dry house.
I've got some in the fridge.
No, we've got a dry house. So there we are. Listen, Con, so let's get on. We're getting near the end now. We've got 2 minutes to go, and we'll run a little bit over, but this is something else. Now, there's a history to this song. John Leyland has been driving us mad to sing this song and recreate it, because it was John explained. Oh, John, you explain. John, put yourself live for a second there and tell us that this is the longest opening song we ever had. John Leyland, ladies and gentlemen.
I remember hearing it for the first time when you opened the Blackpool season at the ABC in 1978. And the audience reaction was phenomenal. The curtains went back, they announced you, you walked to the front of the stage, you belted the song out, everybody was cheering and clapping. And you kept it going as your opening number until just before you did the summer in Eastbourne in 1984, when you dropped it for On the Road Again.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Good song.
I thought that because I always wanted to record it anyway, but at this precise moment in time, the words are very, very apt for what we're going through and how we should maybe look at how we behave as individuals towards other people. Exactly. I think that's the message I would get from the song in 2021.
Well, John, I mentioned that actually to Con, and I asked Con, would he do a little tiny bit of explanation in that vein? So, John, if you'd like to mute yourself, please, and open to Con.
The verse says, don't walk around the down and out. If you see somebody that's down and out.
And what does that mean, Con?
So I'm just explaining. If you see somebody that's down and out, somebody on the side of the road begging or whatever, don't walk around them, or even just throw money at them. Stop and talk to them. They are people. They are people themselves, and probably everybody ignores them. It's nice just to stop stop in your daily life and give them a little bit of your time. Time is the greatest thing you can give to anybody. You can always give money, but time, your time is very precious. And it just says that don't walk around the down and out. Just stop and talk to them and lend a helping hand instead of doubt. Don't doubt them. And the kindness that you show every day, will help someone along their way. And it's lovely to help anybody at all. Somebody, she's sitting on the side of the road begging. It's not because they want to, it's because they have to, you know. And always put yourself in their situation. So don't walk around the down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way.
That's lovely, Con. That's lovely, Con. And for the first time ever, we've actually done a very modern thing of having our drummer join us long distance. And the technology involved in this is quite frightening. But this is Danny Hudson, who's now quite a world famous drummer, although he's not drumming much nowadays. But let's have a listen to this and a look at this latest creation, joined by Danny Hudson. So over to Danny and us.
If you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed, and if you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. Well, you've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. Don't walk around the down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way. Well, you've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. Here come the guitars playing. Show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. Of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets.
What did you think of that? Wasn't that sensational? And let me see the applause. I can't wait to see the applause for this. It's all worthwhile, Con. It's all worthwhile.
Yeah.
It's all worthwhile. That's terrific. And Philip, I've got to ask you, what did you think of that guitar playing? Go on, Philip. Go on.
I thought Brian May had snuck into the room.
You're a terrible man, Philip. Terrible man. No, I enjoyed that. I enjoy playing guitar. You know that. You know that very well. I enjoyed.
It's very good.
Yeah, and Danny was good, wasn't he?
He's a great drummer.
That's the first time actually he's ever done anything like that, and the first time we've ever done anything like that. But John, you like the idea of the drummer, yeah? He'll want to be on every video that we do now. You do know that, don't you? And that's where our tip jar comes from, because we're able to help. We're able to help people like Danny and everything. Not that he needs help, but he does. Probably does. Yeah. I think his wife works, which is a blessing. For anyway, but any musician nowadays is.
And he got a new baby as well.
Yeah, but the musician situation in this country at the moment, well, all over the world really, and it's just no money. There's no money. But it's depending on the public appreciating what musicians and people like us are doing. And please be generous with the tip jar. Anyway, next week, Con. Next week,
yeah. So anyway, this is going to be on YouTube tomorrow, I believe.
Yep.
And it'll be there for all eternity, hopefully.
Oh, may I just put in there for a second? John Leyland, he's always coming up with good ideas, and I've had the idea as well. Why don't we put a DVD together? But DVDs don't sell nowadays, John. That's the problem. So I'm thinking of a different streaming idea. And if we put together all videos from the Corona time and from the lockdown time, we've now got quite a nice collection of. Do you think it'll be a good idea? Let's see. What's the general consensus? A whole collection,
yes,
a collection. Yeah. Everybody is saying, "Oh yeah, okay." Philip isn't though. You don't like the idea, Philip. Oh, you do. That's good. That's good. So we'll think about that idea. And next week, Con, what are we going to be recording? I'm annoying you with this week.
Well, let's see. Of course, we've got to do Sound of Silence because, as you say, we thought we had done it, but we hadn't. So Sound of Silence we'll be doing this week. And the other one, I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen. I will take you home again, Kathleen. Kathleen, get up to bed.
There we are. So there we are. We've enjoyed ourselves this week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I hope you've enjoyed yourselves this week. So it's goodbye from me in where am I? I'm in Eastbourne. And it stopped snowing, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got nothing because we sent the people out and we do not allow snow in Eastbourne at all. So the snow is gone away. Yeah. So say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's goodbye from me in Elland in Yorkshire.
Well, you've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded streets. Don't walk around the down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you